Hang on a second. You caught me cleaning my specs.
Nothing wrong with that. Got to clean them.
I remember when one of our sons went to a doctor years ago.
Yeah.
And came home and we're like, what do you think of the doc? I don't know. He had dirty glasses.
Oh, I mean, by the way, that's a reasonable thing.
Isn't it?
Yeah, completely reasonable.
I see people with dirty glasses. It's like, ooh.
Yeah.
Oofa.
Yeah. Well, it's like what you used to say about people's cars. Like if you get in someone's car and they're a mess, like what else is going on in their life?
God bless John McDonald.
I mean, amen. Stuff blowing all over the driveway.
One of the greatest stories ever.
And he's such an...
Opens up the door and all this crap spills out into my driveway.
And so organized and such a good guy. God. And yet there was something there.
You could eat off the floor in my car.
Me too.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, all the home teams are favored this weekend. And you might say, well, yeah, Michael, it's because of the seeding process. Well, Philadelphia was a favorite when they were in Tampa Bay. But then again, how'd that work out? Hello to my friends at Parks Casino. I'm so psyched for this weekend's football. Saturday, the early game, although it's 4:30 Eastern time. Baltimore, a 9-point favorite hosting Houston. At night, San Fran, 9.5-point favorite hosting Green Bay. Sunday, Detroit, 6.5-point favorite hosting Tampa Bay. And then Buffalo, 2.5-point favorite hosting Kansas City. Wow. Sunday night is going to be awesome. The BetParks app, it lets you play all your favorite casino games for real money and bet on your favorite sports. And by the way, you can also just sit there and play blackjack like I do with a live dealer. It's unbelievable. It's not like some mechanized AI thing. It's like a live dealer, and I'm looking at him or her. Odds and slots and bets and games right in your pocket. Play the hottest online slots right now at your fingertips. Got to be 21 in Ohio, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or Maryland. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Headlines now from the Thursday edition of the newsletter. Holy smokes, it's already Thursday. Jamie Dimon, who is the J.P. Morgan Chase CEO, I think gave some pretty good advice to the Biden White House when he said, essentially, don't denigrate MAGA. He didn't say it this way, but I was thinking when I heard him say it, like, don't go the whole basket of deplorable route. It won't end well. Quote, I wish the Democrats would think a little more carefully when they talk about MAGA, he said. I think this negative talk about MAGA is going to hurt Biden's election campaign. That could be a poll question in terms of whether you agree. And then here's what he said. Take a step back, be honest. He, Trump, was kind of right about NATO, kind of right on immigration. He grew the economy quite well. Trade tax reform worked. He was right about some of China. He wasn't wrong about some of these critical issues, and that's why they voted for him. I don't know how to condense that into a poll question, but that would be a winner, right?
Yeah, for
Do you
sure.
agree with Jamie Dimon? And then I don't know how to summarize all of it. Yesterday, 20,131 votes cast. Is a media outlet. I'm kind of needling Dan over this, but it was my poll question. Is a media outlet projecting election outcomes before all votes are cast effectively the same as conducting and publicizing pre-election polling? What? In Iowa, should they have called the race before people had even voted?
There you go.
So on the question of, is this the same as all the other polls before election night, 54.68% said yes. Today's poll question, another media-related question. I love this. Love it. Should major media events involving Donald Trump, such as an election night victory speech, be carried live by the media? MSNBC did not take any of Trump's speech on Monday night. CNN did and then dipped out of it. I think you have to. I've explained myself already. By logical extension, what? You're not going to take his acceptance speech at the Republican National Convention? Are you even going to cover the convention? What about his inauguration, if he should win? I can tell you that tomorrow's poll question, unless something changes in my thinking today, is going to be along the lines of whether you agree with Nikki Haley that the U.S. has never been a racist country. Steve Breen, TC, today, a great cartoon in the newsletter on exactly that issue, where you've got Nikki Haley, a thought bubble, the U.S. has never been a racist country, and the examples of American racism or racism in America.
Right.
That's the question behind Nikki Haley.
Yeah, and it's also well done because she's in color, and then behind her in black and white, as though they're sort of ghosts from the past, are right there. And it really is. It's striking, both in its drawing and its theme. The theme of it is really something.
Love our cartoonists. Love our cartoonists on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. You're subscribers, right, to the newsletter? Why wouldn't you be? It's free and it's worthy. There's a good USA Today story that we linked to about the tradition of alcohol and the White House, alcohol and the presidents.
It's really a
tutorial.
It's a tutorial.
Yeah.
It's an essay. It's not just talking about the fact that Biden and Trump, neither Biden nor Trump, drink alcohol. It's talking about the history. It's talking about prohibition. It's talking about using and serving different liquors and having foreign dignitaries and serving wine from their country. I mean, I was very, very impressed. Stuart McLaurin was the author, and it's a worthy, something you'll learn something if you read it.
The hook is that 105 years ago Tuesday, the Constitution's 18th Amendment was ratified, making prohibition the law of the land. Alcohol's role in our society has also made it part of presidential history as a staple of White House life and entertainment, as a tool in shaping political images, as the subject of momentous national experiment, and as a source of personal struggle for many Americans, including several presidents. Many people often say, when we've talked about Trump's lack of drinking, if he were a drinker, it would explain a lot.
Can you imagine?
But he's not.
And Stuart McLaurin, by the way, the author, who's the president of the White House Historical Association, a private nonprofit, ends the whole lengthy essay this way: the simple sharing of any beverage can weaken suspicions and build connections, both personal and political. Unless prohibition ever returns, alcohol will remain a part of life at the White House, be it dinner wine, punch at a reception, a quiet beer among adversaries, or a carefully worded champagne toast to a foreign leader.
I have 2 more weekends of dry January.
Yeah, how's it going?
Well, it's going well, but I was just talking about all the football that's going to be this weekend. This is a great football weekend. It's a great football weekend.
I think, first of all, I'm really impressed that you're doing this, and that I believe now you can do it, and we'll do it till the end.
Whoa!
I do.
Wait a minute.
I didn't.
Wait, I might stop now.
Hold
on.
Now I really
Hold on.
I think
I'm taking that as an invitation to end dry January.
But might I?
Because you were my motivation.
Might I suggest that next year you do a damp January? Okay. I had dinner with friends on what's today? On Wednesday night. I don't even know what night it is. No, today's Thursday. On Tuesday night, and he's doing damp January in that he's not drinking during the week. Okay. So that could be a possibility for you next year.
So today's the 18th of January.
Right.
Okay.
Basically, you have 10 days left.
I've done nothing socially.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't avoided social encounter, but I haven't done anything socially. That's made it easier. Like to go out to dinner,
right,
or to meet somebody for a drink.
No, we went to a steakhouse too. I mean,
that would be hard.
There were drinks being
How
poured.
do you go to a steakhouse?
He drank like a seltzer water with a lime or lemon.
That's hard. Yeah. That's hard. Mm-hmm. That is hard. Mm-hmm. I might have a cigar this weekend.
Really?
I don't know.
You can do it.
But here's the thing. I know that I've not. I was hoping I could shed a couple of pounds in my dry January because the booze is high in calorie,
right.
You know?
Well, and also doesn't it release your inhibitions to eat more?
I don't know. All I know is
so.
I'm a grazer. For Christmas, TC got me truly a Santa sack.
It was in your Instagram.
Dense, filled with snacks.
But you know what I'm so sad is not in studio anymore?
Tell me.
The Easy Cheese.
Oh my God.
Like that was so good with the Fritos.
The best.
Will you bring it back?
You think that canister still lives?
Oh.
You must be joking.
Okay, I'll buy you another one.
We
have a bag of Fritos.
Joking.
I got you the scoops.
You must be joking. So it's the 18th. Am I 2/3 of the way there?
I mean,
not really.
Just over
31.
Half. Let's say just over
31
half.
days. Yeah. All right.
15 is half.
I think I'll make it I think I'll make it. But I'd love to have a cigar.
Come on, it's amazing.
I've said it too many times. I am planning, if I succeed in dry January, I am planning on February 1 to have a cocktail and do it as a YouTube live.
If you don't succeed, will you, at the moment of your weakness,
yes,
Just do a pop-up
Yes.
YouTube live?
I
Or
promised-
or at least record it.
I promised you honesty at the outset of the month.
Oh, no, I'm not worried about honesty. I want to see it on camera.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
And you'd want to know what drove me.
Right.
I don't know.
well, no,
It
you
could
don't
be
have to-
Buffalo and the Chiefs.
I was going to say, you don't have to say what drove you. I mean, my gosh, just look around at this news cycle.
It could be
Drives
Buffalo
me to
and the
drink.
Chiefs, though. It just could be. Okay, more headlines from the Thursday edition of the newsletter. Did Meek Mill just endorse Donald Trump? I love this. I guess it has to do with Vivek Ramaswamy. Can we show that for our friends on YouTube? Vivek Ramaswamy tweets, I visited places in 23 where Biden and Kamala wouldn't dare go. From the south side of Chicago to Kensington, he wrote.
By the way, he visited Kensington the morning
Right.
before your town hall with him.
Right, exactly. And so it's a Vivek tweet that then Meek Mill tacks onto, retweets, quote, wait till y'all see who the black people in poverty voting for. How do you read that?
So he retweeted Vivek's tweet, or Vivek retweeted Meek Mill's tweet?
I don't know. Did I just reverse it?
I think you reversed it. In other words, I don't think it was Vivek that made it this pop. It was Meek Mill that made it pop. But I don't know how you read that. I mean, I don't know how you read that other than, is Meek Mill going to vote Republican?
I would love to get Meek Mill back on
And
one of
ask.
my programs and be able to ask him.
Right.
Of course, the last time the only time that I interviewed Meek Mill, I ended up in one of his songs, The Other
Right.
Side of America.
I mean, and I
which
think
was kind of funny.
maybe there's another song coming up. I think that's great.
Gavin Newsom has blocked this proposed ban on youth tackle football. He says parents ought to have the freedom to decide. In California, this bill originally was written to prohibit children under the age of 12 from playing tackle football. It was then amended in committee to ban the sport for children 5 or younger beginning in 2025. In 2027, the bill would raise the age on the ban to 9, and then it would go to 11. He says no. Another sign, I think, that he's waiting in the wings to take Joe Biden's place if anything should shake out.
Yeah, because that logic doesn't work. You can't say, oh, it's up to you whether or not you want to put your child in a car seat when you're driving in a car. So the logic
It's a
does
great point.
not work.
That's a great point.
No.
From one California governor to another, the governator. What? I don't get this. So
I
he's
get it.
flying from Germany into Germany from L.A.
LA to Germany en route to Austria in order to be part of a celebrity auction.
And he's got a watch.
He's auctioning. That is the auction winner. He's bringing the watch in order to auction it off.
Okay.
And evidently there was an issue with whether or not he declared it properly. And so he was detained at the airport and questioned for 2.5 hours. And evidently it was
God.
like a comedy of errors, because he's like, all right, well, I'll pay the taxes on it. So, but there was the card reader, the guy who does the card reader wasn't working. And so then they escorted him to an ATM, but then the limit on the ATM, he couldn't get out enough money to pay for it. So then he tried to go to another one. And it sounded like it was just a complete, as you would say, cluster.
Shit show.
Oh,
Right.
yes,
Oh, yeah.
one or the other. But I think all's well that ends well. He was able to auction things for charity. There might be criminal proceedings. A little unclear what's going on.
When I saw the story,
He's good for it.
I thought surely he was coming home having acquired a watch overseas and not having declared it. That would make more sense to me, but that's not what this was.
No, it was something different from that. Unclear exactly what it is.
Mark Thompson is the head of CNN.
Yeah, what's going on?
He is like my boss's boss's boss at CNN.
The big boss.
And he issued a memo yesterday, a company memo, which got a lot of attention. Immediately, of course, it was put out into the public domain. He would know that was going to be the case before he wrote it. What a career this guy is having. He ran the BBC.
Right.
He ran the New York Times.
Right.
And he's now running CNN.
Okay, so with all of that, is whatever he says about CNN's future, are you what's your vibe?
I thought it was a really interesting memo, well written, and he's
encouraging. I thought he was really trying to boost everybody.
He's got a plan.
He really does seem
he
to have a
has
plan.
a plan.
Right.
And the one thing jumped out at me in the Mark Thompson memo to CNN land. He said that only legacy media like CNN even refer to digital media, because everywhere else, especially in Silicon Valley, like they know, well, of course, we're talking digital media. And what he was trying to say is that CNN needs to get to a place where they realize their future. I mean, the CNN.com website is either number 1 or number 2 as the most trafficked news website on the planet. It's a huge part of the business. So that's the future. I have to say, TC, in thinking about the future of CNN being digital, and I get it, I understand, with all the cord cutting.
What does that mean for Saturday mornings at 9 a.m.?
I don't know, because, so many people are just ending the tradition of, hey, I'm going to take this package, and within that package, I want to have CNN and so on and so on and so forth. I was just recently in a property where they had a standard cable package that did not include the cable outlets. I'm like, where the hell's my CNN? I couldn't even find it.
That's fascinating.
The New York Times and Adam Nagorny, who was again a guest here this week and wrote that fabulous book about the New York Times. I learned so much about the way Mark Thompson and the New York Times were able to become successful as a digital property.
Yes.
Okay? They're the gold standard. However, Axios today has a new report about the owner of the LA Times, a billionaire. And the gist of the story is that the billionaire put in $1 billion into the Times and is losing $50 million a year. And meanwhile, the Washington Post, owned by Jeff Bezos, was set to lose $100 million last year. And the Axios, the gist of it was to say, hey, if these really deep pockets can't make it work, then what's going to be the fate of newspapers everywhere? Only the Times really seems to have figured out how to do this.
Wow. Got to go digital.
There's a great story in Smerconish.com today in the newsletter about New York City and a cop, actually Staten Island, and it's an idealistic cop who doesn't honor a so-called courtesy card.
Hey, I didn't know how those courtesy cards were so, literally get out of jail free cards.
We have to talk about this. We have
to
do a segment on this.
If you have a courtesy card, you get stopped speeding, you just flash the card and they're like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Usually, my dad,
according to that,
my dad.
Wait, according to that, the whole gist of the story
in
is
that instance, yes,
not just one instance, but he was told he always had to do it.
No, in that department, I should have said.
Okay.
Take it from someone who used to have one of those in his wallet.
Oh.
Yeah, and then I reached a point where I thought this is unseemly.
So you would give it
I had the card in the wallet, and I had represented the FOP. I had a gold version of it.
Oh,
I had the medallion on the back, the whole 9 yards.
Oh, you were going 90 and a 35, and you were fine.
Yes, in a school zone. There's something I don't like about it. I also find the yard signs that say we support the local police. That's just, I don't know. There's something about it I don't like. Of course you support the local police.
Isn't that like a GOP MAGA thing?
I don't know, TC. All I know is that I remember my father giving me a tutorial on how you use your courtesy card.
What do you mean? Don't you just show it to the guy?
No. My dad was I would pull out my wallet.
What does Walt say?
So my dad would say that when you were going to you get pulled over for speeding and you're going to use your courtesy card,
license and registration, please.
You don't do what people in this story did, and it worked. But my dad said, no. You do not pull out that card and say here, because that's too over the top.
Oh.
That's too in your face.
Okay, what do you do?
Instead, my dad said you pull out your wallet. You know where your courtesy card is, and you slowly flip through your cards and pause when you're at your courtesy card, and then just keep going to your license.
Oh.
Be subtle.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Favorite story of the day.
At
Smerconish.com.
The year.
Steven Singer is a genius. He is a marketing genius.
I love Steven Singer.
Go ahead. What's he doing?
I love Steven Singer. So this made page 6.
Page 6 of the New York Post.
Page 6 of the New York Post is leading with the fact that a Philadelphia jeweler, who happens to be our friend Steven Singer, has offered Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift $1 million engagement ring.
Right.
$1 million real diamond engagement ring.
Yeah.
And furthermore, because as page 6 notes.
Wait, you're sure it's not lab grown?
As page 6 notes, the the couple is worth, upwards of 800 mil together, probably over that at this point with her Eras tour. But if they say they're going to pay for it, he would donate all that money to the charity of their choice. So he is in for it. And I just think it is so fantastic. I love it.
Apparently his daughter is a big Taylor Swift fan.
Who wouldn't be?
Stephen's hoping maybe there'd be some concert tickets in return. But
yeah, sure.
He's a genius, because if Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift were to accept Stephen's $1 million ring, how much publicity would Stephen get, and what would be the value?
Over $1 million.
Over a gazillion dollars.
Correct. Priceless. But
He's
by the way,
genius.
It's perfect, because the two of them, I get it. He's not the Eagles fan. He's on the Chiefs.
Right.
But there are ties. She has ties to this. She's from this area. She was an Eagles fan. And I just think it's such a great nod to the hometown. I love the whole thing.
I'm sure Taylor Swift knows of Steven Singer.
Zero question in my mind.
How could you not?
You couldn't pass through.
Especially around here.
No question.
TC After Dark has dropped today. It's a Thursday. And
they're conversation starters. You know the card decks that you can get? This is the second in a series that I've done, going through these cards and reading them. I actually have
Give me one. What?
Okay,
come on.
Here we go.
Like I meet you. Wait. What? Give me a scenario. Let me picture it.
No. These are like conversation starters, that you choose.
Yeah.
Okay. So how about this one? If you could pick up a skill instantly, what would it be?
Me? Yeah. Guitar.
Okay, that's interesting that you said that.
Wait, but aren't we like meeting at a cocktail party and you're just using this to...
No, this is like starting conversations. Okay, so
but
then
Where are we?
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Have you never heard of these cards?
No.
So they're for like friends, or I don't know if you would use them for a date, but like friends or husband, wife, or a family. You could do this at dinner. So then, okay.
Give me another one.
Okay, but it would start a conversation. Okay, why do you want guitar?
Well, why do I need a conversation starter if I'm already with my friends?
I feel like you might need a conversation starter.
I don't think so. Maybe at a back to school night?
No. It's fun.
Come on, give me another one.
Okay, how about this one?
Yeah.
If you could compete in the Olympics, which sport would you choose?
Oof. Wow. If I could compete in the Olympics, what sport would I choose? Maybe ice hockey.
If you could only drink one type of alcohol for the rest of your life, what would you choose?
One type of alcohol for the rest of my life. See, I would be tempted to say bourbon, but then if I only have one type of alcohol,
this is the kind of mental
if it's only one type of alcohol,
too.
I can't make a Manhattan.
Right.
Because
you can't mix.
So I don't know. It might be beer.
What is the last thing you bought for under $50 that you love and use often?
A razor.
See how fun this is?
Is it fun?
Yes. We got to go. TikTok.
Ladies and gentlemen, go listen to TC After Dark. See ya.